Right, before we start adding hyperlinks, I'm just going to try and add a little bit of character or personality to this system. So a home page, you wouldn't necessarily have a title, home. So we're going to create a title, and I'm going to call this system, I'm going to call it Computer Wizards. So I'm going to put welcome to Computer Wizards. Now the advantage of this, whoops, I'll spell check that. The advantage of doing this now is obviously I'm going to have a computer wizardy theme, so I can add some theme and personality to what I'm doing. So the home page now has a sensible title, which can have some introduction text, which we'll come on to a little bit later on. And I'm now going to put in some hyperlinks. So we need to go back to the master. So see, before I do this, just have a think, where do we actually go to get the master page? Right, so we're going to go to View, and we're going to go to Slide Master. And remember, the master is right at the top. So get myself right to the top, and I need to have a think about all the different pages that I have. So hyperlink number 1, I want it to go to the home page. On a button you can call it the home page, that's fine. Obviously the title of the home page will be slightly different. And to put a button in, all we do is we go Insert and Shapes. Right at the bottom, there's all these buttons here. So if I click on the blank one, because I can customize the name to whatever I want, and I drag it maybe here, whoops, I go hyperlink, and I choose slide by itself, ... and I want it to go here to the home page, so I'll leave this on home page. Okay, for some unknown reason I've created the smallest button in the world, so I'm just going to stretch that out a little bit. Now this colour scheme's a little bit dull, so all you need to do to make it look a lot more jazzy, you can manually do it by clicking on there and using all the colours and effects like we did before, or you can just literally use these presets here, and there's lots of different things. Like if I click on this, for example, creates a bit of an effect, and I right click and I go Edit Text and I type in home. If I'm not happy with that style, again, I can go back, can have a look, think, you know what, fancy this one with a bit of a shadow instead, and I have a nice home button. Now, you can do that all the way through, but we're going back to that word consistency. If you want to keep it consistent and the same, you're best copying and pasting the buttons. So I can copy this button, and I can paste it, line it up using the guides, and I'm going to call this hardware. Now the problem you've got is that hyperlink for home has been copied to this hyperlink. So I need to click on the edge and right click, and I need to edit the hyperlink. And I go back to slide by itself. And this time I adjust it to hardware. And I click OK, OK again, and that one's now set to hardware. So I can copy this button, and I can paste it. And this one, I might change to software. See if you can remember what I did to adjust the hyperlink. I right clicked, I went Edit Hyperlink, I go to Slide by itself, and this time I go to Software. And we can literally, for the 6 buttons we have, just paste, paste, paste. The good thing now with PowerPoint as well, as you're going to see in a minute, is it automatically spaces things out for you. So if I want it, can you see there, it's coming up with automatic spacer lines. So all my consistency is the same. And again, if I highlight everything by clicking an artificial box over the top, I can use the arrow keys, and I can centralize that and move all the buttons together and make it look neat. Or you could even, once they're all selected, you could even make all the buttons a little bit bigger like that. And again, it's just a case then of adjusting them and making it look really tidy like that. So I put one there, and one at that end, and I use my auto guides. Hopefully, oops, that's just out, can you see? Hopefully, just playing it with it a little bit, you can use the spacers and you can make a really neat job of it. Keep working away, dodging them along. Eventually, we should have a nice, neat line of links. I mean, we can spend as much time on that, but I don't think we need to worry too much about that. So, got home, hardware, software. So my next link, I need to edit hyperlink. I go to slide by itself, and this one's network and communications. Again, it doesn't need to be called networks and communications. If you can only fit networks on, that's fine. Just call it networks. Next one, right click, edit hyperlink, and let's put slide by itself. Binary digits, that probably is easy enough to fit in. So put on that, binary digits, and the last one, right click, edit hyperlink, and on this one I'm going to call this one bits and bytes. Bit snappy and it'll fit in the box. Now to test this, what we need to do is we need to then move off the master page. So we click close master view. Now if I click on these buttons, they ain't working because I've not started this PowerPoint show. So I need to go slideshow and I need to play the show, or I click on the shortcut button down here and play the slideshow. So this is the advantage now of having all your pages set up, because when you're testing things like buttons, you can test it works. So if I click on hardware, it should go to hardware. Click on home, it should go to welcome to Computer Wizards. Software, that's good. Networks, that's good. Binary digits, that's good. And bits and bytes, that's good. And then I can just right click, end show, and happy days, we're all sorted now with the hyperlinks.